Hello all my happy viewers! Well guys, as it would seem, a big topic on the internet as of recently is the massive return of Five Nights at Freddy's. With the release of Security Breach this past December, the hype for the franchise is back in full swing. While the game has its many problems and bugs.
Oh no, he got too much juice.
The fandom did not hold back their excitement regardless. From TikTok videos to modding the hell out of it, and even some extremely creative OC ideas, it's safe to say the FNAF fandom has let its presence be known once more. So guys, today for our Guilty Pleasure Films, I thought actually to take a look at the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Yep. What do you mean it's not a FNAF movie? You mean to tell me that a movie about a guy who's spending the night in a pizza party establishment surrounded by killer animatronics created by a psychopath who lured people into a back room to kill them and only for him to later turn into one of the animatronics himself is not a FNAF movie? Wait, really? Released in 2021 to mixed reviews, more on that in a minute, Willy's Wonderland centers around a janitor, played by Nicolas Cage, whose car breaks down in a small town. Unable to pay for the repairs, he's told by the mechanic that he can work it off at his buddy's restaurant called Willy's Wonderland, a magic place for kids and grown-ups alike, where fantasy and fun come to life, or something like that. Willy's is a birthday restaurant with animatronic anthropomorphic animal mascots, try saying that 3 times fast, headlined by Willy the Weasel. Nick Cage is told that if he stays the night at Willy's and helps clean it up so it can be open for business once more, his debt will be paid to the mechanic and his car will be fixed by the morning. However, it's all a ruse by the locals, including the town sheriff, to lure him into a trap so the animatronics can eat him. Unwilling to go out like some random punk-ass bitch, Nick Cage beats the shit out of the animatronics one by one as they come for him. I gotta say, when I mentioned that this movie had mixed reviews, I was not kidding. Most of the people who actually like this movie see the connections between this film and Five Nights at Freddy's. Willy himself seems to be some sort of amalgamation between Freddy Fazbear and Springtrap, in the sense that they're the main star of their establishment, and they're also haunted by a psychopath who lured people into a back room to kill them. Also, his name is Willy, and then there's William Afton. Not to mention that a friend of mine pointed out that the character of Siren Sarah seems to be some sort of stand-in for Ballora. I don't know if those 2 parts are true, but supposedly the producers claim that this movie is not a product of the hype behind Five Nights at Freddy's. Right. But enough about the comparisons, let's talk about the movie itself. One of the things that a lot of people seem to point out about this movie is the fact that they got Nicolas Cage to star in it, and he gets absolutely no lines whatsoever. I'm not kidding. He never gets a word in. And honestly, in my opinion, I don't know what everybody else thinks about that, but I actually think it's kind of genius. We're talking about Nicolas Cage here. His dialogue is only half of the batshit insanity that he gives on screen. Even with no lines whatsoever, he is still hamming it up on screen. There's one scene in particular where he's playing a pinball machine and he's just going to town, dancing around like crazy. Absolutely no lines, 100% still Nicolas Cage himself. This movie also does seem to have a bit of a low budget, but it's not Asylum Films low, though I'm sure most of that budget went to hiring Nicolas Cage in the first place. The costumes they created for the animatronics look amazing, honestly. With the exception of the character of Siren Sarah, which is literally just a spandex suit wearing a ballet outfit and a latex mask. That one doesn't look god-awful, it just doesn't look like an animatronic in my opinion. The animatronics themselves can actually be very expressive. My favorite instance is when this ostrich character tries to go fight Nicolas Cage, and then he realizes, this guy ain't going down without a fight. While Nicolas Cage and the animatronics look great in this movie, the same can't be said for the side characters. You got this one guy, Tex McAdoo, who's the owner of the establishment, and then you also got the mechanic who's seemingly his best friend, or business partner, I'm not entirely sure. Then you got the sheriff character who's seemingly always in resting bitch face. Then they got a deputy who came in from the city who the film tries to make you feel sorry for, but it's just kind of there. And don't even get me started on the generic teenage characters who are literally just there just to die. I don't even remember any of their names if I'm being completely honest. One of the things that I like about this movie is the fact that since Nicolas Cage was hired to literally clean the establishment, he cleans the establishment. And I gotta say, when he cleans up the place, it's actually kind of satisfying to watch. I don't know how cleaning at my job can be so boring, but watching him clean up the entire restaurant by himself is somehow satisfying to look at. Another thing that I really like about this movie is the fact that Tex tells Nicolas Cage to take breaks often, to which he does. Now that doesn't sound like much, however, he will stop fighting an animatronic halfway through just so he can take a break. Sorry kiddo, I gotta beat the high score on the pinball machine again, good luck! You would think any smart person in his situation would go after the animatronics during said break, but no. He doesn't bother with them on his break time, and they don't bother with him on his break time. Very honorable, Willy. Good man. Or animatronic weasel. That's another thing. He actually lets the animatronics come after him one by one. Even after he knows that they're alive and trying to kill him, he doesn't freak out, he doesn't ask questions, and he does not care. He is there to clean up the restaurant, and they are just in the way. Although I guess one can say that he's cleaning up their dark past as well. And when I say he doesn't care, I mean he does not care. There's a part where one of the characters is trying to explain the backstory and history of Willy's to him, and about how dark and gruesome it was. And he's just not paying attention. Look, I already have a hard enough time listening to the timeline of this thing with a bear, a chicken, a rabbit, and a fox. You expect me to follow this shit? Needless to say, the movie's pretty straightforward, easy to follow, and I hate to say it, but it's filled with a lot of cliches. From what I understand too from behind the scenes, there was a lot of legal trouble going on as well. I'm not going to list off all of it because there is a lot going on, but apparently some of the characters were named the exact same as actually existing characters, and they had to change it. And like I said before, the producers were trying to pass this off as saying that it's totally not FNAF inspired. Sure guys, we believe ya. Honestly, this is a very harmless film to watch for your sanity. So if you want to watch a horror comedy with Nicolas Cage getting absolutely no lines and beating the shit out of cartoony animatronic robots, then I highly suggest you watch this movie. At least until Blumhouse gets their shit together and gives us a real FNAF movie. As of right now, the movie's currently on Hulu. So if you're seeing my thoughts here and you actually want to give it a look, go ahead. Personally, I would give this movie 6.5 out of 10. There is a lot to be desired for, but it's not terribly bad. In my opinion, it falls under it's so bad it's good, sort of. And I stress the sort of. Mindless horror action, very short, requires absolutely no thinking about it whatsoever. Unless you want to go full Matt Pat and try to theorize everything that goes on. But I say it's an alright movie to watch. Well guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it for today's Guilty Pleasure Films video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Don't forget to follow us on Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, DeviantArt. And if you've seen Willy's Wonderland, let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. Until then, see you all next time, my happy viewers.